Hey, what's up, everyone? Just doing a quick broadcast, quick stream. That's probably a little laggy. Nothing really I can do about that. Anyways, gonna see if I'm live on YouTube. New to the streaming thing, so being honest with you, just kind of figuring things out as I go. Anyways, I'm gonna guess I trust that I'm streaming. Let me see. Dr. Gaines. You know, it'd be nice if they actually started showing my YouTube channel on. It does work. Nice, perfect. You can actually see I have my live right there. Anyways, I got my chat in the this corner right over here, all discombobulated. Anyways, I want to talk to you guys about something pretty cool. So I'm playing Age of Empires, right? So I'm over here playing Age of Empires, and I'm like sitting here, I'm learning all these steps and all this stuff, and I'm going to relate to life in a second. Anyways, I'm sitting here doing all this work and like doing all these build orders and all this stuff, but like I'm not memorizing the overall big picture, the strategy side of things, right? And so I feel like a lot of times what people do is, and you're going to see my laundry in the back there. Yes, I need to get my laundry done. It is what it is. I'm safe. Anyways, so a lot of people do, though, is they focus on the little things. They focus on all these small things all the time. There is something to be said for the small things. There is some merit to it. But at the same time, you know, we got to focus on what's important, the big overall big picture. So rather than me sitting here on Age of Empires, in doing one thing at a time, focusing on all that, I need to focus on what is the big picture, what is my goal with things, right? And map that out. So for those of you who don't know, I was in the Marine Corps for a few years. I've been in sales. I've sold well over $1 million of product and all this stuff, right? In the last just 4 years. Anyways, I've done a lot of thinking on this and sitting here wrestling with ideas. And the interesting thing is, sales is all about mindset. So I'm thinking about it. I'm like, man, I'm trying to sit here and learn all this sales process, but I'm not quite getting it. Why is it that I was selling like crazy, and then all of a sudden I had a bad week this week? I did some training with my buddy. He does some car sales, or he does car sales, right? And he's talking about kind of all these things, the product knowledge aspect of things, and that's something that I did as well. And I'd focus on when I sold timeshare. I think about all the ins and outs of the product. I just got to know more. And like everyone there who's making a boatload of money and helping a lot of families out, the most successful people there are the people that don't really know the product as well. They are just going in there every single day, and they have this belief, this vision, and they just communicate it, right? They backfill all the information. So I feel like a lot of times, whatever it is in life, you know, maybe you're a carpenter, maybe you're, I feel like no matter what it is we do, I feel like we focus on a lot of the minute stuff and not the big picture, and that's where we miss the point. So obviously, if we're building a building, certain measurements do matter. You can call me out on that. But like when I was working out, I'm like, well, what's the best workout program? I'm trying to figure out every rep and every exercise and the diet to the T. But like when I was in the Marine Corps and I was more ripped than any single Hollywood actor out there, all I was doing was focusing on like, what is my vision? My vision is to be lean and jacked. I want to be absolutely preposterously lean and jacked. And I want to, look good, feel good, all the things. And what I did was I prayed every single day. I prayed for, God, help me be lean, help me be jacked, help me be physically fit, and I want to be able to be competent at my job, right? I want to do well. And I did that every single day. And what I found was, when I had that vision of what I wanted to look like, all of a sudden I just naturally did the things I needed to do, right? Now there's something to be said. There's a Bible verse. It's in Proverbs, I believe. The heart of man plans his way. The Lord determines his steps. So what does that mean? When you look at that, you can have all these, you can have a big idea and then try to do as much as you can to figure out that big idea. But unless you have the big picture, it's not going to work, right? So like I'm thinking about sales side of things, right? We have a process. You have process 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? You need to actually there's more. There's 7. Preparation. You end up preparing your mindset in the morning, and then you go introduce yourself to someone. You do a little warm up. You do your discovery. You end up pitching them, right? You transition to a pitch. Then you deal with objections. Then you close, and then you wrap up the sale. But it's like I can focus on every minute piece, or I can say to myself, like, this is what I told my buddy. I'm like, dude, all you gotta do is paint 2 pictures. 1, the person you're talking to is the most important person in the entire world. That is a fact. When you are talking to them and they're taking time out of your day, you need to respect that. And you need to be like, oh my gosh, dude, like, thank you. Oh my gosh, like, so good to see you again. Like, man, how are you? All of that helps you be a person of influence. But it's when you do that and then you have in your mind that the product you sell is the most important product in the world, it doesn't matter how you describe it. All that it matters is you have, A, everything based on truth, obviously, but B, that imagery you have in your mind that you created, now you're able to lend it to the other person. So when I'm talking about the product I sell, right, I do many vacations for timeshare. So guys, yeah, hey, we have these amazing vacations. I love the fact you guys pick Smoky Mountains. Have you guys been there before? Oh my gosh, it's amazing. Wow, I love that. Yeah, so check this out. For the Smoky Mountains and all the other spots, we get something really cool. It doesn't matter if I say it that way or if I'm like, oh my gosh, wow, Smoky Mountains is amazing. I did a trip out there. Yada yada, it was amazing. Great. Love for you guys to get out there. They got this, they got that. Look at this, right? I don't have to follow exact scripting and exact words, because the more and more I focus on that, the less I'm focused on what's actually important. So, for example, if I'm working out, right? That's a sales example. Like, what is the implication if I try to follow everything to a T and all these steps and everything else? I'm going to lose my freaking mind, man. I'm going to end up forgetting what's important. I'm going to end up focusing on the wrong things, not focusing on the person in front of me, and I'm not going to create the best visual I have because there's no emotion behind it, right? What's if I'm following the perfect workout program? Helmut Strevel, great guy. He's, I don't know him personally or anything. I don't know anything about him other than the fact that he's great as far as workout goes. But he's 4% body fat year round. And so we look at a guy like that and like, man, he must be doing everything almost perfect, like from the diet to exercise. But why is it that when we try his thing, we're not getting the same results? We could follow the exact same workout program, but why is it that we could do that and not get the same results? Why is it that there's a ketogenic diet? Why is it that there's carb-timing diet? Why is it that there's this, and that? It's because different things work for different people. So long, obviously, there's a good way to do things, an efficient way to do things. But the point is when you have the imagery in your mind of, I'm going to be this is who I imagine myself to be, and I'm going to get there. It doesn't matter how. You're going to backfill whatever it is, right? So I'm going to use an example. Let's say someone goes over and they're doing half reps, right? They're doing the delt flies. All they do is half reps. And they do bottom half reps, and they're doing really fast ones. Like, you could say, hey, you're only doing half a rep, but like if they put a lot of energy into it and that's what they're doing, they're going to get more results than someone who's just kind of going to the gym. This is what I got to do. You know what I mean? Because there's no emotion, there's no passion behind it. So I think a lot of times we need to work on our mindset for things and really focus on what's truly important. Is your mindset, your attitude, passion, attitude, conviction, energy, right? Pace. Keep up the pace, you'll always be on pace to whatever your goal is. Anyways, so I'm thinking about that as I'm about to play some Age of Empires, right? I could sit here and I could focus on, okay, I need the town centers, I need this. But if I focus on the why, the heart of things, of, okay, right now I just transitioned into feudal age, I need to start booming my economy so I can fast castle, build knights. I'm going to start naturally doing the things I need to do, and I can shift on the environment. So, a lot of times in life, things are very volatile, and we need to be able to adapt to change. Let's say if you're following a workout program, and it's just not working for you, you have a shoulder issue whenever you're doing an exercise. Stop doing that exercise, right? If you find another exercise that works the same muscle group, if you know the big picture of, I need to work on my shoulders, find a different exercise that actually works for you, right? So my encouragement to you guys is, rather than focusing on the small things of I need to do XYZ, have the vision in your mind of who you want to be, right, and what you want your life to look like, or whatever your goal is. Visualize that and contextualize it, how it's going to feel, what it's going to be like when you get there. Focus on all those things first, and then focus on everything else. So, I go on and on about this, but I don't want to bore you to death. Anyways, I think there's a lot of merit to it. Obviously, there is a better way to do. There is a closer way to do things, the most efficient way. But the point is like, even with conversations, right? How many times have you talked to someone and you're like listening to words they're saying, but you're not listening to what they mean, the meaning behind the words? So, if you focus on big picture when this person's talking about all these frustrations and all these things that your company does wrong, instead look at the source of why he's mad or why she's mad. Last story I'll share with you on this, and how big picture thinking can really impact you even in everyday life. I was at Walgreens getting photos printed, and really nice young girl helped me out and stuff. She's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm here, whatever, I'll help you out with whatever you need." And this older lady starts storming in, and this is after I go to print the photos at the photo booth. She starts storming in and is just like, "Oh my gosh, you minimum wage worker, piece of crap. Like, I can't believe you. You're always going to work minimum wage the rest of your life. You're worthless." All this stuff. You can't even do a simple thing. And I just turned to her and I'm like, okay, what do I say? What do I say? I prayed about it. Like, what do I say in this moment? How can I be productive? And I just turned to her. I said, "Ma'am, I am so sorry. I don't know what you're going through right now, but I hope your day gets better." She said, "My husband just died this morning. I lost my dog on Wednesday. My life is falling apart." So, like, rather than focusing on the small things, I focused on kind of that big picture, and I was able to really make an impact on her day. And, like, she was just cried and vented right there. And that probably meant a lot to her, that she felt seen, right? So, anyways, I could talk about with work, with anything, right? Let's say if you're a chef, rather than focusing on everything with the recipe, focus on why the recipe is made the way that it is. If you're making salmon, right, and you want it to be kind of a crispy outside and you want it to be kind of fall apart, okay, well, I need to make sure that the marinade is good. I need to make sure that I cook it for X amount of time, because of the fact that that's usually what gets the well doneness, but also having that kind of tenderness. I don't know, I don't cook, dude. I go to the gas station and I go to McDonald's for my meals, or Taco Bell this morning, because I don't cook. But my point is like, when we start looking at that big picture, it's going to shape how we do things, and it's going to make us do them more effectively when we have that understanding. And it allows us to focus on God, trust in God and having faith in working through things that we don't always have the answer to. So life changes all the time. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I just live streamed just because. If you guys like more of this, or if you guys have any other ideas of different things you guys have questions on, you want me to make a video on, love to help you out, love to make a video on something. Anyway, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I'm about to play some Age of Empires. I might actually stream that later. Who knows? Alright guys, I'll see you later. Peace.